my fruit bats. Today we are doing another clothing bat DIY, and this time we are making some bat shorts. Let's get this started. For this shorts project, you're gonna need a pair of pants, or you could just use shorts with like some excess fabric if you have some. Now you're just gonna like measure eyeball how long or short you want them to be. I recommend snipping them while you're standing just a little bit so you know where you want to cut them. And you need some paper to draw out your stencil. You might have to tape a few of it together. Then you're going to want to measure from the first loop to the middle loop in the back so you can double it to know how big you want to make the wingspan. And then you measure up and down how long you want the wings to be in each spot. And here, this is kind of like an extra thing. I kind of wanted to do some strips, so I measured those out. And I had to tape some paper together, and I used some old paper I used for another project. I just taped it to make it really big. And you're going to want to measure the width of the half of the wing from the middle to the side and how long you want it. And then just kind of sketch it out however you want. You honestly could do any shape for this part. Then you're just going to cut around your sketch thing. For this project, I did the sketch and ended up completely changing it way later. So here's kind of what I recommend more for the shape that I ended up going with. But here's how it looks at first, but it will be changed. And I'm going to be adding some paneling to the pants, so I cut out some triangles, and that's what the green's for. So here's the bottom of the pants. We're going to cut them in half so they're big fabric pieces. And we're going to open it up and sew it down the middle. So we have one big piece of fabric we can cut around. My dog wants to say hi. Now we're going to get our fabric and we're going to trace the pattern. And once you got the one side done, you're going to flip it and try to align it as best as you can. And continue tracing and just add a little bit because it was messed up. But we're going to change it anyway in the future, but it's fine. I'm not sure what other people use, but I preferably like these metallic gray Sharpies to sketch on black fabric. It makes it easier for me. And then I'm going to cut out the triangles in this green fabric I have. And for the wing, you're going to want to cut right on the line so it's the shape. You're going to measure it, make sure all like the loops align up, and honestly you can manipulate it a bit so it aligns properly. And I'm kind of just seeing where I want to add the spikies, and then I just cut a little thing in there and I rip it. And then you're just going to sandwich it and get it all buckled and then sew it. Buckled, I meant pin it? Pin it, yeah, pin it. You're going to do that for both sides of your pants. Once you got the excess length all extra'd out, you're going to want to measure how long you want to make the bars, the weird buckles at the bottom. I don't know what they're called. Like, I kind of just laid them flat, and then I'm going to double the size. And I'm going to use the rest of the scraps from the pants, or if you have any other scraps, you can use those. Kind of just measure out how much I want and hope I have enough. I did have to cut some pieces together and sew them because I didn't have enough one long way. Now, I ended up using a zigzag stitch. I don't know why I'm showing you the completely wrong zigzag, but I used a zigzag stitch, and I kind of did like lining all over to give it some more color around and all around the bottom. I just did a ton of like stitches to add some pop, I guess. I was going to do some more like little fun designs here and there, but I got lazy. So you can do that if you want, or add patches. Yeah, I had a lot more ambitions for this, but it is what it is. So now I'm going to do the zigzag stitch all the way around on the wing as well. You just do this all around, and I also did one straight in the middle. And once you get all the zigzags, you're going to want to do like the little wing shapes in there for you. And here's just where I did some of the lining, just kind of showing you. I did one on the zipper, like up down the middle and the sides. I also did a line on the top for like little accent. And make sure not to go to the belt loops. I mean, unless you don't care, then it's fine. See, here was like the little sketch thing. Now you're just going to want to try to go slow because when you go too fast, it kind of messes up. But now we're just doing a thing. Make sure to pull away. Not pull away, but just be gentle and slow, not impatient. And like I said, we're just going to do one down the middle. Just kind of covering that one seam that we did. And now we're adding the little wing. The lines and the wings that bats have, you know. And then this is how it looks. Yeah, woo! Woo! And now we're gonna do the same to the little ropes for the pant bottoms. Are they like belts? I don't know, but these were like probably the hardest part. You'll see why. Okay, so now we're just gonna do little stitches on each part here, like on the bottom of the pant loops and then the very back on the top of the belt loop only. Okay, so yeah, those things. Okay, these grommets, I cannot explain to you how to use these, but it took hours. It was probably the longest part of the project were these, yes, this, and yeah, you get to see it once. You're gonna have to find out a video tutorial for that because it was hard. And then I just added some keychain thing in the middle and then pliers. I don't even know. We were working with whatever I had. I ended up having to use like some gardening wire because it could not fit. Try to make the grommets close to the end so they can fit. And here's where I realized I hated the back, and we're gonna fix that and just kind of seeing where I want to put the bars. Oh, no, what the hell? Hello? Now here's where we fix the blasphemy of this back wing. Yeah. I showed you earlier with the other pattern kind of how it ended up. I don't really know. I just cut it off and was like, okay, there we go. Fixed. Way better. Now you want to get your little belt thing and pin it to where you want. And then we're going to add little stitches all over just so it doesn't fly away. Or you could just two on the side. It's up to you. I just did little every once in a while. And in the middle so it doesn't go zigzag easily. And you can do as many or as little as you want. I like to do a little asymmetrical thing. So I have 2 on one side and 1 on the other because I find that fun. I like asymmetrical things. Very fun. And when you sew, make sure not to sew both of the back and the front of the pants together. That would not be good. You want to make sure you can wear them. And I recommend pinning it as much as you can before you pick it up because it will fly away. Especially in the back. You don't want the back part to be droopy. Mine definitely weren't like that. No. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yay, we got one side pinned. Now I got to do the other. And we're going to try to do it like kind of in the middle where they are. So it's different. Yeah. Now, before I started doing the hand sewing, I meant the machine, I just did a few hand stitches just to keep it sturdy. And then I went in the machine and just did a few little lines just to keep it there. There's so many different ways you can do this, or like different colors. Ooh, if any of you guys make this, please, I don't know, post it or tag me or something, or tell me what colors you do. I did black and green because, I don't know, I like the colors. Honestly, I like a lot of colors. I don't know. I like the green. I like the neon green and black. It's fun. And when you do this, there's going to be lots of little threads, so make sure to cut those. Unless they don't bother you, but especially on the inside, they are not fun. And make sure to get all the pins out because it would not be fun if you ended up stabbing your leg with them. Now I just did a little extra lining in black on the pant right here where it's green, so it kind of looks like contrasty, I guess. And now they're all sturdy in there. And now they are complete. Yay. Thank you so much for watching and making these with me. These were very fun. Yay. And if you're interested, I have a hoodie version I made. A bat hoodie I made a couple months ago if you want to go check that out. And yeah, here's the back. I promise you, Chad, that looks so much better than the other part. It looked so funky. But here's the back of the pants where just the few stitches and the back lining. Yay. Also, my custom plushies will be restocking on July 20th. Got the bat plushies, the frogs, and lots of other goodies you could choose from. Also, I just got a ton of new keychains up if any of you are interested in that. And of course, we got the wristbands as well, if any of you like that. And I also added lots of new fabrics for the plushies. So I got like some Butch Femme. Those are a couple of new ones. I added quite a bit of new ones. So I'd love to see if any of you guys are interested in that. And it'll be linked down below or it's right there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.